Nigerians as well as Africans.
Today, we will be examining the recurrent xenophobic attacks in South Africa and its impact on Nigeria and Africa as a whole. Join us later on the show as a guest breaks what this means for us.
The federal government and as well as the labor union are at loggerheads right now because the labor are asking for exactly what the federal government has been using the fuel subsidy funds that has been coming in for in the last couple of days. And as well, Taiwo Yedele has now come out to say, look, we'll bring out the report soon and very soon.
Many hot takes, opinions. We will be bringing you up to speed with what is currently trending across all social media platforms and dominating the internet today.
All of this and many more we'll be sharing with you in the course of the show this morning. Don't forget to follow us across all social media platforms. We are live on Facebook, X, and Instagram at Saharatv, and you can as well watch us live on YouTube at Saharatv. Subscribe to that channel so you can be the first to know whenever we are live right here.
A very pleasant Friday morning it is. The month is almost coming to an end, 30th of July. The month is already, it has come to an end already.
Don't take us back in time.
I mean, I didn't want it to end because it is my birth month.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Okay, maybe for some weird reasons.
For some weird reason. Thank God it's Friday. Nigerians are excited that it's Friday, and every working class citizen is excited because they have to rest for the weekend.
Of course. I mean, nothing bad happens on a Friday. I always reiterate that. And just like you mentioned, the final working day of the month of July is an amazing month. And then we're looking forward to see what the rest of the other month in the year 2026 has to offer as workers, as Nigerians, and hopefully it means well for every one of us.
Just like AY has said, we are looking forward to what the rest of the month have in stock for us. We would go on a short break, and when we come back, the morning show continues. Do you stay with us?
Thank you for staying with us. It's still the morning show on Saharatv, and right now we'll go straight into taking stories that made it to the front pages of the major editorials, starting with the Guardian newspaper this morning. Our top story says high cost of hepatitis care, stress facilities expose 20 million to liver damage. And for more of that story, you need to check out page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. And just beside the graphic image on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, you have this one that says contract fraud most prevalent, corruption in public sector. That's according to the EFCC boss. For more of that story, you need to check out page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. And just beneath the nameplate of the Guardian newspaper, this one has to do with the economy. And Oyedele explains how Nigerians spent FX subsidy removal savings. That story is also on page 2 of the Guardian newspaper.
Up next is the Punch newspaper, and on the Oyo abduction, why we tracked, arrested kidnappers' families. And that is the president speaking. There are a couple of riders to that story. Abductors wanted us to please their detained members and pay ransom. That's the president speaking there. We were prepared to finish with terrorist families. And away from that, fuel subsidy saving reports coming soon. And this is from Oyedele, and that is on page 14 of the Punch newspaper. And lastly, on the Punch newspaper, Army probes leaked DSS memo, a warning of Adara and Borno attacks.
Moving on to the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning, top story says federal government's labor clash over use of fuel subsidy removal savings. Right after that story, one says savings used to service increased workers' salaries and others, according to Taiwo Oyedele. Check more on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. And just above the nameplate also have Nigeria and other African countries face six-fold security threat. That's according to the US AFRICOM. More of that story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And lastly, this one says Nigerian silent sanitation emergency. For more of that story is also on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper.
Up next is the Daily Trust newspaper. Stop building flyovers. Tinubu tells governors. And still on the Daily Trust newspaper, 2027, INEC rejects routine deployment of soldiers during elections. And lastly, on the Daily Trust newspaper, how Colonel Ude was killed in Abuja.
Moving on to the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, just above the nameplate, this one says £746 million loan. Federal government begins payment of counterpart funding for Apapa Tinkan Port. More of the story is on page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune. And you also have beside that anxiety as INEC set to publish particulars of presidential National Assembly candidates tomorrow. That story is on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. And lastly, on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, Osun 2026, political parties seal accord for peaceful poll. That story is on page 4 and it has a couple of riders, with one of them saying, queries why arrested accord members are detained in Abuja and also Nasarawa. And that's it from the front page of the Nigerian Tribune.
And now we'll take a look at some of the top stories from Sahara. Reporters and bandits evade a Niger State community despite collecting 11 million naira levies, kill residents and abduct others after looting shops. US apologizes for AI-generated wrong African map shown at global conference. So we take a look at the cable. Tinubu to governors, stop building unnecessary flyovers. You can do more for citizens. And still on the cable, Mahama to miss out as Ghana accepts 5-year presidential term proposal. And lastly, from the Premium Times, Oyo school abduction are still gripped by doubt. Governor Makinde constitutes panel to probe incident. And still on the Premium Times, despite Cross River budgeting billions of naira for erosion control, deadly landslides exposure prevent gaps. Looking at some of the stories now, we are taking a look at what is happening currently. The president has said to governors to stop building unnecessary flyovers, that you can do more for the citizens. And I would like to side with the president on that. And flyovers, well, it is a welcome development. The citizens want more than that. We do not want flyovers. I mean, the citizens want to survive. They want a thriving economy. They want more job opportunities. But then again, it is the president. He has the power to even do more than the governors are doing.
Well, I think for some of the governors that are taking, building bridges and flyovers as some of their, I would like to call it capital projects now, because we've seen some of them in the last couple of years that one of the only things that they can point to that they were able to achieve while they were in office is, building flyovers and also bridges. Some of them, the kilometer is not even, just a stone throw, and then you have them commission it and put that up as. But I think they're even moving away from flyovers now. Most of them are now going into building airports now.
True.
So, I mean, I think it's something that is progressing. But just like the president has mentioned, it's right that they do more. Because the onus of every Nigerian feels like everything they need is on the table of the president. But then we also need to start holding these people accountable. I mean, the state governors now, just after the state governors, you also have your local government chairman. I find at a point in time it was said that they've not been given autonomy as local government. So let's start from the roots. Let's be holding these people by the hem of their garment so that they also know that they're in for something. Whatever it is that is happening in Nigeria, the onus should not be on that the president has to come to our rescue. We have state governors that are also getting the FAC allocation funds, and they're even getting more at this time, more than what they used to get before. So yes, it's a good one that the president's also giving them a knock.
Okay, and that's how much we are going to be taking from the front pages of the editorials this morning. We would go on a short break, and when we come back, the show continues with what is currently trending across all social media platforms. Do stay with us.
President of Obiago, an agrarian border of Enugu and Ebonyi State, it feels less of a geographic feature and more of a sentence to isolation, because whenever it rains, it brings havoc to the people of this community. Tons of farm products are being left to rotting away. School children trek long distance in dangerous paths to get to school, and even teachers refuse to report for duty. Whenever it rains, this area is not motorable, and it's also been said on record that whoever dies during the rainy season are being left to wait in mortuaries before they can be taken out of the community. Ironically, in the year 2021, the then Vice President Yemi Osibajo made a visit to this location after it was being declared to be in a state of national concern. A visit by Sahara reporters has exposed what residents call to be a decade of abandonment by successive governments, and the big question is, how long will people of Obiago continue to live in this state of rejection and abandonment? This is Saharatv on the go. Follow us across all social media platforms on X, Instagram, and Facebook at Saharatv, and watch us live on YouTube at Saharatv.
Many thanks for still staying with us up until now. We will be bringing you up to speed with what is currently trending across all social media platforms and dominating the internet at this moment. Trending at number one is the emaciated captive photos, contrasting with healthy Oyo kidnapping rescue. And images from July 29 show a severely malnourished captive from Kogi State kidnappers after ransom payment. His swollen legs and sunken cheeks evidencing prolonged hardship. This differ greatly from July 10th rescue of 44 Oyo State pupils and teachers who appeared healthy, smiling, and well-dressed after 56 days without any ransom. Online discussion highlights varying bandit treatment, with some questioning the Oyo victims' neat appearance and growing for better action against kidnappings across Nigeria. We would be looking at some of the reactions towards this. And we look at what Rosa Pepe has said. And she said, nothing to observe. Everyone knows the Orire issue was politicized, thinking the common people who were the victims had a hand in the politically planned kidnapping is what I don't understand from you people. Are you saying they planned what and killed their colleagues? And moving away from that, your favorite doctor, he says, this victim needs not only medical attention, but psychological care. They will need to see a therapist. I hope they heal. Nigeria happened to them. And lastly, but the students and teachers that were kidnapped and released were fat and neat. The bandits washed our clothes. Why the bandits no wash these ones' clothes, or those ones get fear of God? Now we're looking at what is currently trending. And number two, investigators confront Nigeria's sextortion scammers in new documentary. Former prosecutor Erin West and analyst Paul Raphael posed as teenage boy online to lure extortion scammers, tracing them from social media to Lagos villages. With local help, they confronted the Yahoo boys face to face, uncovering their BM blackmail and tactics and even Yahoo Plus rituals meant to manipulate victims. The suburb documentary I Hunted the Man Who Blackmailed Children Online reveals how these fast-moving schemes demand gift cards or crypto for intimate images, highlighting the heartbreak of human trolls. Let us take a look at this video.
To Nigeria to find the people who blackmail teenagers.
We've got less than 48 hours left. We got a phone number of one of the scammers that we provided to an amazing professor, and he then was able to take those phone numbers and translate them into bank accounts, and that gave us real names and phone numbers of people.
And a name finally became a place on a map.
It's our last 12 hours. It's do or die. We are headed out to track down this scammer.
But nobody listens.
There's actually nobody in the premises. Like everyone is gone out.
We just saw a video of prosecutor in West and Paul in Lagos as they look for these Yahoo Boys and Yahoo Boys Plus. And now we take some of the reactions to these. I hope one day people will understand that blackmailing is a crime that can put you in jail. Blackmailing is not something to play with. Like you can spend your life in jail for blackmailing someone. It's a penal crime. It's a criminal crime. You guys should know the law before. And away from that, we look at what Osei Cyber has to say. And most of those Yahoo or scammers don't understand how the internet works, how they can use IP address and other cybersecurity tools to track you. They only understand how to blackmail someone. And lastly, from Abiola Oshodi, and it says there is absolutely zero sympathy for these criminals. Driving teenagers to take their own lives for pocket change is demonic. They think they're anonymous until a joint FBI and EFCC squad kicks down their door. Meta literally wiped out over 60,000 of their scam accounts in one go, and the United States government is hunting them down like animals. Every single one of them doing this dirty work deserves to rot in a federal penitentiary. And now we look at what is currently trending at number 3. Lagos widow regains home after father-in-law's arrest. A toasting 28-year-old residing at Ikorodu, Lagos, lost her legally married husband on 20th July 2026. Instead of being allowed to grieve in peace, her world has been turned upside down by late husband's family. Her father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother-in-law, and his wife left their house and moved into the home of the late husband and ordered the young widow to pack all her personal belongings, along with those of her 2 young sons, into just one room inside the house. To make matters even worse, some of her late husband's properties have reportedly already been shared, while plans are underway to sell his car. This grieving widow is now living in fear for herself and her 2 children. Let us take a look at this video.
They're fine.
Oh, great. Okay, so just calm down, okay?
Mm.
Everything will be fine, all right? Don't be scared. Nothing will happen to you.
Okay.
Like, let them go spiritual, oh. Let them go anywhere, oh. Nothing's going to happen to you, all right? You hearing me?
Yes.
Yeah, we are standing behind you, so don't be scared of anything, all right? I will be praying for
Thank
you.
you.
We'll be praying for you too. No spiritual attack, nothing going to happen to you. You will not seek.
Amen.
You will live strong to take care of these 2 boys your husband left
Amen.
behind, all right?
Amen. Amen.
Thank you. Your
Thank
mother-in-law has
you.
to leave the house too. Don't tell me that you want to forgive anybody.
I do not even see her. She has gone. No. To be, you see, motion
She
song,
don't
cotton
go.
on song here.
Oh,
I was saying that, please, I'm protecting my
what
mother-in-law.
about the brother-in-law and the wife?
The wife is not even here. Right from time, she did not accept.
What about the husband?
He's not here.
So the house, they are out of the house now.
Yes.
So you go and let them lock the gate. You don't have gate man in that place.
I don't have one.
There's the gate man house.
There's no gate man house.
There need to be a small gate man house. All right? You have a gate man so that gate can be locked every time.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later, okay?
I just saw a video of toasting after the father-in-law has been arrested. And now we take a look at a tweet from Pampam. And it says, unity in wickedness is something I can't explain. They were probably acting all nice to her when he was alive. I don't know when people would understand that a wife is a husband's immediate family before anyone else. She should have locked them all out. Rubbish. And we are looking at another tweet from a concerned Nigerian. As it should be, the father-in-law should be prosecuted as deterrent to other in-laws. May greed and poverty not make us fight over the property of those who should bury us. And lastly, we'll take a look at a tweet from Frank. Lesson learned, it says. 1. Write a will. 2. Include your wife's detail in your assets. 3. Make it clear in case of your demise who gets what. Safeguard your family even after death. That is inevitable. And that is what is currently trending across all social media platforms. But taking a look at this, Ayo, now this is a very, very sad news that the people who are meant to take care of her after she has lost her husband, I'm talking about Tosin here, are the ones going after her and asking her to relocate to a small room inside the house with her two sons. I mean, this man who died is your child, and this young lady is your son's wife. These are your grandchildren. You should be taking care of them. But now what is happening is that they have asked her to move out into a smaller room. But thankfully, Lagos State government has intervened now, and Tosin is safe with her children.
Yeah, it's a laudable one that the state government had to, swiftly get into this particular one. And just like one of the tweets read, this is a case of greed. And then when you talk about greed, it's also some persons have this belief that the fact that they sponsor their child to school and then anything happens, it is their turn to also enjoy, whatever it is that the son is doing, which is, for me, I think it's more of a cause than a blessing. Yeah, it's more of a cause than a blessing. And for that kind of father, then it's a bad example, and it's good that it's also been made to serve as a deterrent. If you take a look at it keenly, I'm not sure this is the only type. This is not the the only type of case that we are seeing when it comes to daughter-in-law suffering in the hands of families when the husband's demise. But yeah, a laudable one that the government has stepped in, and then they are looking to help her to regain what is rightfully hers, because of course she's supposed to be the next of kin to the husband even after his demise.
Yeah, true to what you said. She's supposed to be the next of king even after the husband's demise, but now we see this. Also looking at the discrepancies between the Kogi captive and the Orire abductees that were released. People on social media are saying that the abductors that kidnapped the Orire students and teachers washed their clothes, and that these people who were released after the teachers and the students, were well taken care of. But looking at this Kogi captives that were also released, that they were malnourished and not well taken care of. People are also saying that the Orire kidnapping was politicized.
I don't think this is something we should be talking about, really. We should just be grateful that they were abducted, they were kidnapped and at the end of the day they've been released. I don't think that we should be looking to pick accused from how they look, what they were wearing, what they did, and all of those things. The fact that they've been released is
something that we should be happy for. And that's how much we would be taking from what is currently trending across all social media platforms and dominating the internet at this point. We would take a short break. When we come back, the show continues. Do stay with us.
You see, situation report from More, Lagos Road, see, river don't full, see, river don't full. Since morning, now we dey here, since around 11. No vehicle, see, no motor take the risk. People, motor they off on the light. They see, in the carry motor, no be second chop. Situation report from More, Lagos. We have been here since around 11. And now we see the scene. Just look at,
Why do you take risk? Where do this one about money?
Okay, erosion will carry you on the river foot away, so you on the river. Oh, see, river na foot away, so river everywhere. Look at everywhere. Na foot away, so Lagos Road. Say, you don't fall. Oh boy, who go fit take this risk? You know, dinner. River don't foot away. River, see. Lagos Road. Today so far. No. Situation report from Lagos Road. Situation report. Since around 11. What is the time now to 6? Yeah, since around 11. Now we dey hold up. Since around 11. Because of Ore, just you can imagine, because of Ore. You can imagine, situation report live in Lagos Road because of our we don't do yes, it's around 11. Now this to 6. You can imagine. This is the country we find ourselves. Mama, not be lying now.
I don't be lying now.
This is the country we find ourselves. Huh?
The road where we dey talk about, not even spoil from year to year.
Just, you can imagine. Huh? And they're collecting money every day. Driver go pay tax. Local government go collect money. This one go collect money. Produce everything. You can imagine. I have been stuck here since around 11. I would be here around 11. Now, look at it. Just look at the time now. Look at the time. To see since around 11. How many hours did they do? Can imagine. Okay, one key person. Situation report. Yeah.
Wanda ya faru a yankinmu yau abu ne wanda za mu ce inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Wannan wanda ake kira Awal Dan Haza daga Birnin Gwari ya tashi ya kwashi motoci hilas guda 7 da motar sojoji da 'yan banga ya je garin Randagi akan wani wuri da ake ginin zinara a wurin. Kuma wannan wuri sai da wannan magana ta kai su da shi da Abubakar Mahuri har gaban mai martaba sarkin Birnin Gwari. Sarkin Birnin Gwari ya yanke decision ya ba shi wannan Abubakar Mahuri Randagi. To shine shi wannan ba Allah wanda ake kira Awal Dan Haza ya je da wannan jami'an tsaro ya nemi ya je ya ɗauko wannan abubuwa da aka gino wannan zinari. Da ya shigo cikin gari DPO yake ya tsaye da su. DPO Randagi yake tambayan shi ya nuna mai takarda da ta ba shi dama ya shigo cikin garin Randagi a yau. Ya ce shi ba takarda shi sai ya shiga. DPO ya gaya mai to in ka je ka duk abin da ya faru babu ruwana. Ya je ya nemi ya ɗauko wannan gidan zinari su ɗaura a motoci su wuce da shi. Mutanen garin Randagi suka nuna ba su yadda ba. Ya ba da umarni a buɗe wa mutane wuta. Suka dinga harbin mutane da ƙananan yara da manya har aka kashe mutum 3. Sannan ina ƙalubalantar hukumar sojin Najeriya, shi waye shi da har yake yawo da sojoji. Na farko shi ba ministan tsaro bane, shi ba national security advisor bane, shi ba GOC bane, shi ba wani retired general bane ko kuma brigadier general. Duka ba ko ɗaya. Amma me yasa zai dinga yawo da sojoji har ya ba su dama su harbi su kashe mutane? Muna kira ga hukumomin tsaro na jihar Kaduna su ɗauka mataki akan wannan abu da ya faru, da gwamnatin jihar Kaduna ita kanta ta ɗauka mataki akan wannan abu da ya faru. Abu ne na ta'addanci, abu ne wanda kare ba zai ci ba abin da aka yi yau. So ina ƙara jan hankalin mai girma gwamna na jihar Kaduna, mu al'umman Birnin Gwari, al'umman Randagi, wallahi billahi ba za mu yafe ba. Wannan abin da aka mana ba za mu yafe ba. Gwamnati ta ɗauki mataki na gaggawa. Jinin 'yan uwanmu da inda aka jikata ba zai tafi a banza ba. Suna nan a General Hospital Birnin Gwari a kokwance inda aka harbe su. To muna kira ga gwamnati, wannan mutum da ake kira Awal Dan Haza a hukunta shi daidai da abin da ya aikata, da su wa'innan jami'an tsaron da ya ɗauka na sojoji da na 'yan banga a hukunta su daidai da doka. Abin da muke kira kenan ga gwamnatin jihar Kaduna a ɗauka mataki a wannan abu. Idan ba haka ba aka bar wa'innan abubuwan yana faruwa, wallahi billahi
Happening live. Fuel, oh. They know a tank, I don't. Are you come on, Ashaman?
When we talk about xenophobic attacks in South Africa, we see protests, we see rallies, breakdown of law and order. But I tell you what, it is far beyond that. Historically, this is not the first time we'll be seeing things like this happen. first off in 2008, 2015, 2019, and now 2026. A lot of conversations currently ongoing, because whenever it does happen like this, the rest of Africa are asking the question, what exactly do these people want? Is this some intolerable act, or should we call it an anatomy of not being able to take in other people? Is this Afrophobia? Is this xenophobia? Or just people trying to be patriotic and also nationalist? Plenty of questions that a lot of people are asking, because when it does happen like this, there's going to be breakdown of law and order. There's also going to be tensions, diplomatic tensions. Economy is going to suffer for it. On the show today, we'll be talking about this xenophobic attack in South Africa and exactly what it does mean for the rest of Africa. Joining us on the show this morning is Deyemi Saka, who together will be taking a look at the pros, the cons, and also the sides to the current ongoing in South Africa. Good morning to you, Deyemi.
Good morning. It's nice to be back here once again. I'm looking forward to an exciting conversation.
Let's get straight into it.
But please spare me something, because this is more of a patriotic duty. Before I came on set, we were talking about the Oriri abduction, and I want to put something out here. Please allow me.
Okay.
I think it is very silly, and anybody trying to accuse or trying to compare the states of hostages and what have you is of a sick mind. I've been involved. I've been interfacing with security agencies to a large extent, and when the Oriri started, I had a private conversation with somebody. Can I say the concepts of operations between what happened in Oriri and the Kogi abductions were different, and the responses were different. That is why you could see those guys the way they have, and I think, and this is me being audacious. I can tell you that the federal government is managing information, and they didn't give us as much as we would have expected.
More like they're making it some form of classified information.
Yeah, and I think this is me telling you that there is a local component in that hostage taking that couldn't allow the movement or transportation of the abductees from one point to the other. That is responsible for their state and their well-being. Because of the negotiation that was involved, obviously, in terms of negotiation, you have to get needs to these people. And that is what happened in terms of... And when people talk and speak to issues with profound ignorance, I look at them and I laugh. So those people were part of a crisis that kept them in the forest for 50-something days. Come on.
Okay, so coming back to the topic, xenophobia, how it impacts Nigeria and Africa at large. This is not the first time that we've heard of xenophobia and xenophobic attacks in South Africa. It emerged as early as 1995, 1998, even in the 2000s, and now in the 2010s. We are currently seeing it in 2026 and 2026. Why do you think this has been recurrent in South Africa?
I think South Africa or South Africans are misdirecting their grievances and anger.
Okay.
And I guess what shifted in South Africa, I think in the 90s when Mandela was released and what have you, was the political power. Political authority, political activities or activism, not necessarily economic power. So you have the blacks, the South Africans, the black South Africans, always been in office, becoming the presidents and what have you. But every other thing that decides that make the government work or fails, every other thing that makes the country work or fails, every other thing that makes that determines the well-being of the people is not in the hands of the black South Africans. So you probably would imagine that if South Africans want to rise up against that economic imbalance or partiality and what have you, and the chasm in between the two races, the black and the Africans, because the whites are the Afrikaners, you probably would think they should be directing their anger at the white Afrikaners or the government to come up with policies that can bridge the gap, reduce it, and bring about economic inclusion. This is the third time that thunder will be striking, if I can use that word. The first time was in Uganda under Idi Amin. We knew what became of Uganda and what have you. The second was under a very, very intelligent man. People might think, forget about the memes you see about him. Mugabe was a very intelligent man, highly read, highly educated. But we saw what became of Zimbabwe under Robert Mugabe when he came up with those policies and what have you. Nigeria has tried it at some point, but with three institutions. We had the nationalism agenda under Obasanjo, where that was what brought about not giving a free advert, national oil and everything. So if we now look at South Africa as a case study, you have a lazy, entitled, unskilled population. And it's going to affect South Africa as a country. The country is edging towards the precipice. Whether we like it or it's just a function of time for them to tilt over. There will be anarchy in the land. And once there's anarchy, there's going to be breakdown of law and everything will be in ruins. As we speak, I can tell you that the GDP of South Africa is taking a bash and it's reducing.
At the time, I think it was even above Zimbabwe's, but now it's about 2%.
No, Zimbabwe is not even. Zimbabwe is not even an economy to compare in Southern Africa. If you're talking about economy in Southern Africa, you probably want to talk of Namibia, Lesotho.
I mean, that was before the whole.
No, even before the whole thing. The whole thing, the Zimbabwe economy has been in ruins in the last 20 years. So if you're talking about economy that you probably want to compare South Africa with, you probably want to speak to Lesotho, Namibia, the likes of the
But now they are struggling.
Swaziland, Swaziland now. But as we speak, what's going to happen is the South African assets, when I mean assets now, will still be sold off as carcass. So for every other African entrepreneurs, I probably will tell them, hold on to your liquidity, your purchasing power. Don't rush into the South African economy. South Africa will still come begging because they will need these guys to come and revive, resurrect, and repair their country that they've destroyed. And it will be at your terms, and they're going to sign a lot of contracts that will make them be in economic slavery for another 40 years, whether they like it or not. That's the bitter truth we must put out there.
I mean, two things that you've said now there. I mean, I will take you back a little bit. You talked about, South Africans not directing their anger towards the right place. More like the case that we saw in Germany 1930, if I'm not mistaken, when Hitler was trying to make a particular race like a major race. Do you think that that's exactly what is?
No, you can't compare. The Hitler's conquest was not. Hitler's conquest was fueled based with intelligence.
Okay.
You had nuclear scientists, you had propagandists, you had people schooled that bought into the ideology, and it wasn't about Hitler or about a race. It was about they came from the World War One. World War One, ironically, was started by Germany as well. Yes, they took the fall and the bash of it and everything. So the second one was just for them to reclaim that glory and everything. It's a lot different from what you have in South Africa.
Okay.
South Africa is just a bunch of unskilled, lazy, entitled people that just feel that because they are black or blacks, because they believe the country is theirs, they should just have everything. And the president, Ramaphosa, is following the script of Benjamin Netanyahu. Very simple. And if you look at I think it's been the script at the ANC at some point, African National Congress, that anytime they are becoming unpopular among the people, the next thing you see as response is xenophobic attacks on Africans and what have you. I saw a minister saying that Nigeria should tell them where the drugs are and everything. Drugs is not even the problem. For people that have studied and everything, they'll tell you that Nigerians are not the one that gets drugs into South Africa. It's not Nigerians. Nigerians, the kind of drugs they're pushing for that brings about the money, the cocaine, the opium and everything doesn't come from Africa. There's a route, there's a channel. I'm driving at some place. But you see, so anytime Netanyahu says it's becoming unpopular, it looks for a country to bomb. Like, okay, let me bomb Lebanon. Let me bomb Palestine. Let me just make a case and everything. So anytime Ramaphosa is becoming unpopular, and it shows in his response and was evidently demonstrated by his criminal silence. And I love the way Africans are getting back at him. I love what Ghana did. Ghana revoked the contract of the South African Mining Corporation in Ghana that's been there for over 25 years. The president of Nigeria rightfully snubbed his envoy, and I guess going to be across board. But if for everybody that can break, if you are lucky to, and this is me giving a free consultancy, if you can be able to gather like 2,000, 3,000 US dollars to $1 million US, you probably be buying South Africa for cheap in the next 3-4 years, and that's the truth. Because we'll give South Africans their country to run. Economically, they will run it at ground, and they will come begging.
And just to take you back to what you said anytime they become unpopular, we see xenophobic attacks. Are you trying to say they are doing this to remain relevant?
It's not about becoming relevant. It's just to, like I said, is to deflect the attention of the people away from their misgovernance or poor policies and what have you. If the real problem in South Africa, I think are three. You probably want to talk of an unskilled population.
Okay.
So you have to look at how do you get them the necessary or the prerequisite skills to function in the 21st century. South Africa has one of the best, tertiary education system in Africa, but you'll be shocked and amazed that you hardly find them in such schools.
Okay.
South Africa has one of the best media infrastructure or organization or broadcast industry in Africa. You probably look at what's the content of things they're churning out, but they've churned out some fantastic content as well. We can go on and on, but you find out how many South African doctors do you have? How many South African economists do you have? What you have plaguing South Africa is lack of skills, lack of skills among the population. There's an HIV pandemic in South Africa. I'm not saying this to discriminate people living with HIV. Let me put that out there. Thirdly, there is this high crime rates among South Africans because obviously they are not schooled, they are not skilled, they are not working, and they want to survive and they take to crime. And they want the best of ladies as well. South Africa has the highest rape rate in the world. There was a time to say that every minute 9 South African ladies are raped. It was that bad. So you look at all this, the government has not addressed it. The government has not come up with what we could call our own version of universal basic education scheme that makes it mandatory for you. You must be educated to a certain level in this country, and to that level, it must be free. South Africa, that's kind of power outage or shortage of what have you, generates at least 25,000 megawatts of electricity. So they have the infrastructure, when I mean infrastructure, the backbone and everything to succeed as a country. That is why any smart thinking, resourceful entrepreneur would always make money in South Africa because the infrastructures are there. The development is almost beyond what you see in other sub-Saharan Africa, except for the likes of countries like Egypt, Morocco, and probably Algeria.
Okay. There's been comments that the primary victims of xenophobic attacks are other Africans. And now they're saying that this has moved beyond xenophobic and xenophobia to Afrophobia. How do you assess this?
That's why I said South Africans, the black South Africans are misdirecting their anger and what have you. If South Africa are really demanding for economic powers, they want that inclusion and everything, it's the white South Africans that they should be going after. Not necessarily in a violent way.
Okay.
But there are ways you could go about it. But I've just pointed out things that the successive governments have failed to do. They are meant to do 2-3 things. They are meant to, once people get educated, once people get engaged. I'll give you an instance. If I'm a governor of a state, as from my state, Ogun State, you think I want to tell people, I want to give you employment, I'll open up the civil service? No. I'll probably, yes, because I know we're a developing country, we always need to build infrastructure. I would tell every construction firm coming to execute contract states that 70% of your workforce must be residents of that state. Direct labor and everything. By the time you pack all those guys from the motor parks and everything to go work on a project site, and they come back 7 p.m., tell me who is going to have the energy to become a political talk or serve as a political talk? None. The guy will be fagged out, will be exhausted. And the guy has a decent earning. Once people get engaged, they won't have time for for excesses. They won't have time for crime. If you imagine you've lifted bricks and everything for 5-6 hours, you won't have the strength to run after a lady that you want to rape her or assault her. You don't have the energy to run after a guy that want to snatch his bag. You just want to go eat and sleep.
I mean, before we go for this quick break, it's been said that about 30 to 40% of the masses in South Africa are unemployed. Just like you also rightly mentioned that if you happen to become what you're going to do first is to get people engaged. Do you think that this is some form of political failure on the part of the South African government?
No, it's just not a failure on the part of this successive governments. Yes, they have bulk of the blame to pick, but South Africans too are lazy. They felt because they've suffered, because they felt this is our land, we are blacks, we own this country. They have. That's why I use the word entitled. You can't be employed when you don't have any skills to offer, when you're not bringing anything to the table. Let's borrow that word. You don't have anything to bring to the table, except that you're just existing.
Okay.
I saw a short clip of a white business owner that says he's going to shut down his business because the blacks, the South Africans comes there, they get there, in 4 hours they tell they want to sleep and everything and they leave. And unlike
they are not open to work, they are not ready to put in the work.
They are unskilled, they are entitled, and they are lazy. As a people and as a nation.
Okay.
Right. Okay, we go on this quick timeout. I will still come back for more on the issues currently happening in South Africa. Don't forget to keep it logged in right here. We'll be back after this short timeout. Stay with us. For residents of Obiago, an agrarian border of Enugu and Ebonyi State, it feels less of a geographic feature and more of a sentence to isolation, because whenever it rains, it brings havoc to the people of this community. Tons of farm products are being left to rotting away. School children trek long distance in dangerous paths to get to school, and even teachers refuse to report for duty. Whenever it rains, this area is not motorable, and it's also been said on record that whoever dies during the rainy season are being left to wait in mortuaries before they can be taken out of the community. Ironically, in the year 2021, the then Vice President Yemi Osibajo made a visit to this location after it was being declared to be in a state of national.
husband died last year, December. Yes, he was shot with gun when he was coming back from home. Fuck. They killed him there. It's not up to 1 week. They bury him like a chicken. The South African woman that we are sharing my husband with say he doesn't want the body to come home. That is a South African right here. He says because he married her in system as a paper. You know paper now. You want to have citizenship. He married her in citizenship as a paper. But my husband started with me here in Nigeria before he go to South Africa. My cousin support him in money for tickets to go. My husband go to South Africa 2003. 2003, he went to South Africa just to go and hustle. I have one for him here. This is Chinasa, government here. Everything they say they want to do for.
Many thanks for staying with us. It's still the morning show on Saharatv. And on the show this morning, we're taking a look at the current happening in South Africa, this xenophobic attack, and what it means for South Africa and the rest of Africa. And on the show this morning, we've got the Misaka together. I've been taking a look at this particular discourse. Thank you so much for staying with the Emi.
You're welcome.
Still on the talk of the South African thingy, if I can recall very well, in 2011, according to the World Bank, South Africa has an economy that is about 8.3 times more than a couple of other African countries, and by 2025 it has somehow reduced to about 2.2. Now, where my question is coming from is that we've seen that some African countries are already taking steps towards, as their businesses, they've stopped doing business with South Africa. But then let's take Nigeria into context. Now, we know that they have a couple of big conglomerates right here in Nigeria, the yellow one, the blue one, and the likes. Don't you think that on the part of the Nigerian government too, we should always look to do something about our bilateral relationship? The companies, why not just also, cut them off? To maybe this will also serve as a bit of deterrent to them. What do you say of this?
It's you probably that would have been a knee-jerk reaction or response to the whole thing. And let's be guided.
Okay.
Some of those things you believe are South African companies and what have you are owned by Nigerians, or the franchise are owned by Nigerians. So if you think you're going after them, you're probably hurting your people.
Okay.
That is one. Two, I think most of those companies you're probably looking at are listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. That means some Nigerians have investments in it.
Buying shares.
And based on the nationalism or national agenda of I think to a very large extent is still in place. So you cannot really claim or push it to them that they have sole ownership or complete ownership of those organizations or business interests. So that for us, I know there is a Nigerian South African Commission. And I was wondering why the Nigerian, part or side of that commission did not push hard enough, or mediate or come up with, demand a meeting of the two, of the commission, because the Nigerian South Africa Commission is comes up with, I think is a biannual thing. There was one that was meant to hold this year by the calendar. And I guess Nigeria should have, activated and fast-tracked, the such meeting and put this to the table and what have you. There are a lot of ways to deal with South Africa than calling off those business interests.
So, just to follow up with that, now I also know that there's this thing that Nigeria does about, making Africa a centerpiece. When are we going to come to the part of making Nigeria our own priority too?
No, I beg to disagree.
Okay.
You see, there's some mandatory actions you do based on your membership to a lot of organizations. One, don't forget that Nigeria is a member, statutory member of the African Union. There's a limit to what you can do. Nigeria signed on to the UN Charter on Human Rights. There's a limit to what you can do as well. For me, if this had happened in the 80s or early 90s, where military dictatorship or rule was common in Africa, a lot of African countries would have had boots on ground in South Africa. But now I think we've embraced as a people globally, except for some warmongers like Netanyahu, Trump, and what have you. Most countries always look for a way to de-escalate tensions, not escalate it. So I won't blame any government in Africa looking up, but I think what they would do, and I think at the next AU summit, and I guess across board and the ECOWAS border region, I think they should start looking at imposing sanctions on South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, once you start imposing sanctions on South Africa, it hurts the economic further. And most African, if South Africa, likes of Lesotho, Namibia, Nigeria, Egypt, Algeria, Morocco, Ghana, and the benevolent dictator in Rwanda, Kagame, comes up against South Africa, they're gonna feel the heat. And it's gonna further strangulate the economy. But when you look at that as well, you look at what's the larger implication of it. South Africa is heading towards destruction. Some people, if you want to go through the conspiracy theory and what have you, you probably could say you want to see the hand of a foreign spy agency trying to dismantle South Africa to take over South Africa for a lot of reasons. That's also a theory to look at, because you look at why after the fallout with a major country, barely 6 months, 8 months after your country is in chaos, it's probably setting you up for disaster from within. Whether we like it or not, there are a lot of spy stations in South Africa. South Africa's intelligence community or whatever played an active role in the First World War, Second World War, and the Cold War. Between, so you cannot, eliminate anything. Everything is possible in what's happening in South Africa. But the certain and the reality on ground in South Africa is being set up for destruction.
Okay, so let's bring it back to Nigeria now. Nearly 1,500 Nigerians were evacuated from South Africa. Some are still stuck there, some have lost their lives. And now, are there measures in place by the Nigerian government to make sure that these evacuated Nigerians that are being brought back to Nigeria have their lives back? I mean, they've lost everything. Are there measures in place by the Nigerian government to make sure that, if not almost to normalcy, at least to start from somewhere?
I don't want to sound insensitive.
Okay.
I don't want to sound very patronizing of the government. But what the government has done, fair enough, is to get them back into the country. The government is providential, but because they are repatriated from South Africa, doesn't make them special citizens than Nigerians that are on ground as well.
Okay.
A lot of Nigerians have lost their means of livelihood or survival, either to one natural disaster or one man-made disaster. So why shouldn't those ones be a priority as well?
Okay.
You whether you like it or not, you decided to go to South Africa for personal reasons. You want to you believe you could better your life there. But there are some Nigerians that stayed back that believed in Nigeria, that felt they want to contribute to the growth of Nigeria, and whether the activities, whether we like it or not, impact on the economic fortunes of Nigeria, and they felt they've fallen into bad times. Why do you think the Nigerian government should not give those ones considerations ahead of those that are just being particular from South Africa? Yes, do we need a sort of support? Yes, they do. But they shouldn't be placed above those on ground. They should go through the process. If you have any safety net for such persons, there are a lot of grants, loans, and what have you they can get. They should probably approach just like every other Nigerian. Yes, do we need more of such policies in Nigeria? Yes. If you want to pull our people out of poverty, it's not just me saying consumption to production and what have you. What we need to do as a people is to roll more grants and more incentives into startups of small medium scale enterprises, because that is what we need. By the time you do that, it has a multiplier effect on the economic outlook of the country. So I think that's what we should have. Something like fashion, like after the SBA backed loan of the US, Small Business Administration backed loan in US, and we started that in 74. that brought them out of recession. So I think we have a lot of policies like that, but we should proper monitoring, proper fiscal discipline, proper monitoring of fiscal policies will make all those things, productive and far-reaching as it should be.
Let's factor in the South African government now. What roles are they playing in all
Nigeria
of these?
should demand each compensation for its people from South Africa.
Okay, we've had the government of South Africa condemn these attacks over time.
No, the condemnation for these attacks.
The Pan-African
on Monday. The condemnation came very, very late.
But these things still continue. What do you think the government has a role? The South African government has a role to play.
When the police stand down and watch South Africans attack other Africans, it shows one thing. It's evident that it's a state-backed action, so you cannot tell us anything different from that.
Let's take your final thought on this now. In the last couple of days, there's been a bit of a backlash, especially on social media. I remember that in 2019, Nigeria's performer, that's Burna Boy, was supposed to have a show in South Africa, but he could not do that at that time. And now, a couple of days ago, a list came out of the countries that a South African artist, that's when Tyler will be going to perform, and the Nigerians are coming out to say, no, we don't want you to come here. What's your thought on this?
Yeah, there's a saying, like I said it the last time I came here, I'll still say it again. I'm a Yoruba guy. We were raised, nurtured with proverbs, or sayings. We all of us cannot sleep, in and probably face the same direction.
Okay.
So there'll be divergent opinions on this matter, but there are, and I believe boycotting or pretending not to come is also a good thing, and the best way and the only way to go. To start teaching South Africa a lesson and South Africans a lesson. Whether we like it or not, South Africa as a country do not offer the market for what they have. If Nigerians too decide to start boycotting the services rendered by some South African organizations in Nigeria, I can tell you, the government of South Africa would now be forced to either pay compensations and do the right thing. And that's where I stand. Everything South Africa, directly South African, should be banned, barred, and stopped from gaining anything in Nigeria.
Many thanks to you, DM Isaka, for being a part of the show this morning. Taking a look at the current happenings in South Africa, how it's been affecting Africa and Nigeria, and of course, the economy as a whole. We're still right here on the morning show on Saharatv TV. Stay with us. We'll go on this quick timeout, and when we come back, the show continues.
Died last year, December. Yes, he was shot with gun when he was coming back from home. Work. They killed him there. He's not up to 1 week. They bury him like a chicken. The South African woman that we are sharing my husband with say he doesn't want the body to come home. That is a South African right here. He says because he married her in system as a paper. Paper now. I want to have citizenship. He married her in citizenship as a paper. But my husband started with me here in Nigeria before he go to South Africa. My cousin support him in money for tickets to go. My husband go to South Africa 2003. 2003, he went to South Africa just to go and hustle. I have one for him here. This is Chinasa, government here. Everything they say they want to do for me, I am so very, because I had whatever they say, they'll give us a hope to start new life. So I am very, very happy, whether it's big or it's small. Home is home. Other Nigeria should learn. Home is home. And I'm still telling those ones over there, they must know how they're going to make a plan and convince that South African woman to allow the children to come back home. Since they say they love the man, they don't love them. They want their money. They just have a child just to have their money. They love Nigerian men because of money. They kill them. Advice to Nigeria men and the women that they must not go to South Africa. South Africa is not a place to go and hustle. They mustn't dare to go to South Africa. South Africa is not a home. It's not a useless place. So I'm not scared. I'm in my country now. Useless place to stay. Many of our brothers, they are saying in the street, they are suffering. Many is dead there. No one must go there. Even one Yoruba lady died there last year too. No one must go there. As I'm talking to you, one of our Nigerian sister, it was inside the jail till today. What have she done? She doesn't have a permit to stay in South Africa. They put her in jail, waiting for December before they will deport her. She is suffering with her 6 children. So it's not a place to stay. They don't like, especially in Nigeria. I don't know why. They don't like Nigeria.
25 a.m. There were initial delays. We informed the press that the flight would arrive on I think at 5 a.m. But because of some operational challenges, it was shifted to 8 a.m. in the morning. But eventually, the flight arrived around 10. So we are very happy that at least the first batch is here. We're expecting more flights from Monday. I think the next flight will be on Monday. Then subsequently, we'll have more evacuation flight from South Africa too.
So do you see a strain in Nigeria-South Africa relations?
No. We are the giant of Africa. We have been promoting African unity. Africa still remains the centerpiece of our foreign policy. So despite the hiccups or the strained relationship that we have currently, so that does not mean that we'll cut off ties with South Africa. And again, the president of South Africa in his engagement have continuously said that the government of South Africa is not in support of the protest. And he has assured that they will make sure the June 30th deadline don't stand. They will
Welcome back. It is still the morning show on Sahara TV. And on this segment is where we break down what is currently concerning Nigerians, the issue pertaining to Nigerians, and what the questions Nigerians are asking. And we break down these things for the layman to even understand. And before we went on a short break, we were talking about the xenophobic attacks. And we have listened to Saka say how this impacts Nigeria and Africa as a whole. But before we go, yesterday, a member of the House of Representatives Committee investigating the alleged fake Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council, Honorable Yusuf Adamu Gadi, has declared that the signature purportedly appointing Adeniyi Adeyemi as Director General of the council was different from the authentic signatures used by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Chiefs of Staff, on 9 other official communications. And during the proceedings, Gadi said the committee had carefully examined several official correspondence issues by the Office of the Chief of Staff to the President and found that the signatures on all of them matched, except for the letter purportedly appointing Adeniyi Adeyemi as Director General of the Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council. What are your immediate reactions to this?
Miracle, you please bear me your name in my reaction to this.
It's a miracle.
It's gonna be a miracle for those guys at the House of Reps to be intelligent.
Okay.
Because what they've demonstrated is they've just shown to the whole world that they are unintelligent, unresourceful, and uninspiring to the public office holders. I probably know the last time I checked, I think Gaji has a master's in mass communication. I don't think he has I don't think his first degree was in forensic science.
Anything that has to do with.
I don't think there was anybody on that panel that is a forensic expert. And you see, when you're unintelligent, your lies, and I'm saying this without caution, your lies become infuriating, intellectually infuriating. It becomes, distasteful. And it demonstrates how much you don't, because it demonstrates how much you see the people as unintelligent as you are. I know, as a matter of fact, at some point when this whole crisis broke out, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila wrote to the DSS and to the police reporting Adeyemi. So, Gaji wants to tell me that the DSS did not identify a forged signature or a fake document, that they didn't move against the guy to arrest him. You see, let me, for sake of education, because I know we don't have more time here, the DSS is an agency, because sometimes when they say things like this, I'm pained because they are improving on the integrity, the resourcefulness of some agencies. And secondly, they're even affecting Nigerians. They are hurting they are hurting Nigerians' interest, because now you send a communique out, you're sending something to a multinational, to an embassy, to a country, and they are questioning it like, how is this? How sure are we that this is not a fake? The DSS, for the sake of education, I guess, and I pray this gets to Gaji, so it probably becomes sensible moving forward.
Okay.
The DSS would have analyzed as much as to the basic thing of the printer that printed that was used in printing that document. There is no way, if I give you a piece of paper that you sign your signature, that it will be the same 5 times. But when forensic experts are looking at your signature, they are looking for distinct, constant patterns. So, and those kind of persons, or persons with those kind of training, are in the DSS and the police. They've gone through these documents and they found it authentic, because if it wasn't authentic, they would have arrested that guy before now.
Yeah.
It's commonsensical. But you know, if they want to lie and they need a bit of education, some persons, I'm not making free advice, I can even help them. It's my job. But
you lie for people?
No, not that necessarily. Like, we manage information for people.
Okay.
Well, you might call. There's a difference between lying and not telling the truth. There are different. There's a thin line to cross. In our profession, there's a very thin line to cross. So I probably will not tell you the truth, but I will not lie stupidly like this.
But you're not telling me the truth. You are lying to me.
No, I'm not telling you the truth.
Are you trying to omit?
No, when I'm not telling you the truth, doesn't mean I'm avoiding lying.
Okay.
But I'm not telling you the truth because the truth might be hurtful.
But not telling the truth also means lying.
No. Not telling the truth means I probably just did not want to tell you the truth. I don't want to lie.
At the time?
No, I'm not telling you the truth and I'm not lying.
Okay.
Because I don't want to lie.
They're sitting on the fence.
No, they're sitting on the fence if you know your way about it.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's the truth. But for me, it's just simple. This has a huge effect on business.
Okay.
On bilateral relations with some other countries, because now they'll be, you're saying somebody could forge. So if they forge the signature of Bajabi Amela, they forge the signature of the office of the SGF, the Adegim office. Who gave the budget item for that office code to pass to the budget office at the National Assembly for approval? I'm not going to give them that free expo. No, I won't. I'm not that nice. I'm not that generous.
Right, let's take it from this angle now. Do you think that there's some sort of cover up happening from the office of this head of civil service? Because he acknowledged that there were lapses during the vetting process.
All these things all these things could have been better managed.
Okay.
Because the guy obviously got money from some investors to procure the appointments. I'm not saying, I won't be here to say that Bajabi Amela mandated the Tani Mola guy to collect money on his behalf. But if the Tani Mola guy had collected money, is monetizing assets.
It's so sad that Tani Mola is not even.
But the guy is also, all I would have done as Bajabi Amela, the guy is shouting, release money to the agency. He needs to pay back his investors. Then we'll not pick him up for embezzlement and misappropriation of funds. Simple. And all this thing dies down. But you see, an average Nigerian public office holder is so arrogant. They believe that after God, they are the next. And there's nothing they cannot do and get away with. That is why sometimes they are so untidied in handling things or crises,
So
even in their
if
communication.
I'm getting you correctly now, it is safe to say that you're pinning this, you are saying that there's some persons are aware of this
like I said the last time I was here, this federal secretariat is not a quarter shopping complex that can just go there and pay and rent an office space. For crying out loud, the guy through the federal government employed people. So when the guy was employing people, they couldn't flag it. The guy held exhibitions and events with foreign nationals, was holding meetings. Nobody could detect that the letter appointing him was a fake. Up to now, don't pee on my face and tell me it's raining.
Okay. You said something that they try to lie, but they are doing a poor job at it. Now, Nigerians have been asking questions. Are you trying to say that these people do not even value Nigerians? They don't rate Nigerians, and they are doing
So
this
if they rate us, will that guy come to a public space and say that a ridiculous lie? So Gaji is now more resourceful, more of an expert than the DSS and the police that they got a petition earlier. He has more investigating skills and investigating powers and resources and personnel to do that for him. Please.
Okay, we have seen Femi Falana drop his bid to represent Adeniyi. Do you suspect any issues with that, or how do you see this whole matter?
I know. Why should I suspect anything? Femi Falana is a lawyer.
Okay.
He has a right to take on brief, reject it, and it doesn't feel like going ahead with it. And I guess maybe because of his clear conscience, maybe his supposed client is not cooperating enough. Maybe his supposed client is probably even did not open up to him to the extent that he can defend and put up a proper defense and a good defense. So I'm not going to hold. I'm not going to be speculative about Femi Falana's actions or decisions. Is in his right to decide who he wants to be friends with or enemies with. For me, it's that's another. But I still insist. People should just learn to be intelligent when they want to do things. So it makes it tidied.
Okay. Before we wrap things up, I'll still take a cue from what the head of civil service said. I was talking about DDS that was in Jack when she said that they ought to have carried out their due diligence. Do you think that at this point, concerning this PFIPC case now, do you think that we should have seen a bit of resignation, just like a lot of Nigerians are calling for it? Like, Earth should be rolling by now?
You're probably asking for too much.
Okay.
If I don't need to, you see, Nigerians are quite emotional about a lot of things, resignations and what have you. It's not for what your value system or value standard, the standard of differs from one person to the other, one country to the other, and one nation to the other. And don't forget, because of the multiplicity of nationalities in Nigeria, a lot of people are occupying the office not for themselves, but for their region, their tribe, and their religion. So, because somebody did not do his job, you want to leave where you want to leave your representation.
All of these things, does it supersede the civil service rule? Because if I'm not mistaken, I saw somewhere that according to the civil service rule, negligence and things like this should call for either your appointment or be terminated. And
so as long as they've not terminated my appointment, they've not established any wrongdoing. If they think there's any wrongdoing, let it be established, and the appointment will be terminated. I want, like the president said, I will not help you tie a rope around my neck now. I will not. If you think you have a case against me, and you see, and this is me, like somebody was at the point saying, yes, we need to embrace death penalty in Nigeria like you do in China, and I said, how? Is Bola Tinubu as a president now, says there's a death penalty, kills a former political officer that's from the north. He has killed a northerner. A northerner comes in there, says he's going after a southeast person, kills him. He has killed a southeasterner. So there are some things that don't work. Let's face our peculiarities. And don't let us keep deceiving ourselves. There's a difference between idealism and reality. The reality on ground does not speak to all those things. You think a minister from a state will resign when he's there, is representing a state at the federal executive, which is a constitutional thing that there must be a minister from each state of the federation? So you think a minister will now resign because he wants to satisfy the sentiment?
And that come rain, come shine, the culture system still has to be honored.
I keep telling people and I keep preaching for it. You might not like him. A lot of Nigerians might not like him. If you want Nigeria to heal and move forward, you still need to go back to what Abacha did. That 1995 constitution, that draft, dust it, improve on it, and make it a working document. In 36 years, safe to say in 42 years, Nigeria will truly heal and become a nation.
42 plus.
That is a presidency of 7 years around the 6 geopolitical zones, which is 42 years. After 42 years, nobody will want to break away from Nigeria because every region would have produced a president. Every region would have produced vice president. And that constitution will just need maybe 2, 3 alterations and amendment. Till tomorrow, we'll still be amending that 1979. We are calling 1999. Because you can imagine the distance from 1979
to
1999 that we adopted all because of Afenifere. That said they didn't want the 1995 draft because they were not part of the Constitutional Conference. Let us put things out there in clear perspective. If you want Nigeria to heal, if you want this country to work, you might not like his face, you might not like his time in power, but you have to acknowledge and appreciate what he did with that 1995 Constitution. Pick it, be honorable enough, be humble enough to use it. Pride will not take us anywhere.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you join us on the show. Thank you very much, dear Mr.
It's always nice. It's always nice to be here.
Thank you very much. We've had him talk about the issues concerning Nigerians. And now we are going on a short break. When we come back, the show continues. Do stay with us.
The destruction of approximately 2,819 illicit, decommissioned, and unserviceable small arms and light weapons, bringing the center's cumulative total since inception to about 19,000 destroyed, is no small achievement. It reflects sustained institutional commitment, and it deserves the recognition of every Nigerian concerned about the security of our nation. From where I sit, coordinating our national security architecture, the connection between illicit arms and the violence that has troubled our country is direct and unmistakable. Terrorism, insurgency, banditry, kidnapping, and communal conflicts are all sustained by the ready availability of illegal weapons. Every weapon recovered by our gallant armed forces, police, and other security services, and every weapon that eventually finds its way into an exercise such as this represents a threat permanently neutralized. These recovered weapons is guaranteed never again to threaten any Nigerian again. Since assuming this responsibility, I have worked with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's full backing to drive a security strategy built on intelligence-led precision, interagency harmony, the disruption of financial networks that sustain criminal and terrorist groups, and a renewed pragmatic engagement with our international partners. Society, as we witness today, is tangible contribution to that wider effort. I use this occasion to renew our call on the Nigerian public to continue cooperating with the police, the armed forces, and other security agencies by providing timely information on illegal possession, manufacture, or movement of arms. I also call on our traditional and religious leaders, whose voices carry great weight in our communities, to continue reinforcing this message of disarmament and peace. To those still engaged in illegal fabrication, trafficking, or use of arms, let today serve as a reminder. Recover weapons end exactly where you are witnessing today, in the fire, and never back on our streets again.
Today's public destruction exercise, your presence here this morning, despite your very demanding schedules, is a strong statement of the importance our nation places on ridding our communities of illicit arms. And I want to thank each of you most sincerely for honoring our invitation. We are gathered here today to witness the destruction by burning and subsequent smelting
of 2,819 small arms and light weapons. These are weapons that were illicitly acquired or have since been decommissioned and rendered unserviceable, and which now stand permanently removed from circulation.
Many thanks for joining us. It is still the morning show on Sahara TV. And right about now, we will be bringing you some of the news on the business scene. We'll begin with news of new threat intelligence from cybersecurity firm Kaspersky shows that Nigeria was among the 5 most targeted countries in the Middle East, Turkey, and Africa Meta region between January and June 2026. Its security systems blocked 1.6 million web-based attacks originating from malicious websites, phishing emails, and compromised online services during the 6-month period. While Nigeria recorded fewer attacks than South Africa at 5.7 million and Kenya at 4.5 million, the report reveals that 18.4% of Nigerian internet users encountered web-based cyber threats during this period, placing the country 4th in Meta region behind Turkey at 22.8%, Kenya at 21.2%, and Qatar at 19.3% rather. South Africa followed Nigeria at 17.2%, while Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Pakistan recorded the lowest proportions of users affected by the web-borne attack. In other news, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, identified foreign exchange infractions among authorized dealers following a routine examination of 34 institutions, and according to its 2025 annual report and statement of accounts. The examination, which covered the period from April 1st, 2024 to March 31st, 2025, was conducted to assess compliance with extant rules and regulations governing foreign exchange operations, evaluate the utilization of forex exchange and for eligible transactions, and analyze foreign exchange flows from major sources. And according to the report, while authorized dealers were broadly compliant with existing foreign exchange regulations, the review uncovered some infractions for which appropriate penalties were recommended. And moving on, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, is pushing to establish a native African reference price benchmark for refined petroleum products, a move aimed at ending the continent's reliance on foreign pricing indices and reflecting local market realities. Rabi Umar, Authority Chief Executive ACE of NMDPRA, stated this in Abuja yesterday, stating that while Africa produces significant volumes of oil and gas, yet much of the pricing for the country's commodities is determined outside the continent. And Umar explained that Europe has successfully developed the Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Antwerp trading hub, which serves as the principal pricing and supply center for much of the continent, emphasizing that West Africa should pursue a similar model to strengthen regional trade and improve price discovery. And according to him, the growth of refining capacity across Africa had made the establishment of a regional benchmark even more urgent. And that is how much we bring in the world of business. I hand over to Ayodeji as he continues with tech news.
Moving on to technology news on the show this morning. At top of the story is that the federal government has stepped up plans to build a unified digital payment infrastructure for delivering social benefits to Nigerians. This according to Bernard Doro, who is the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction. The minister said the proposed G2P platform formed a key component of the ministry's One Humanitarian, One Poverty Response System. And moving on, NITD has given government institutions, software developers, and technology service providers until second quarter of 2027 to comply with a new national software quality regime that will make independent testing and certification mandatory The enforcement timeline was announced as the National Information Technology Development Agency (NITDA) unveiled the National Software Quality Assurance, the framework, with a new regulatory mandatory to mandate the third-party software testing, risk-based quality standards, and license requirements for software testing organizations. And lastly, this morning, the Nigerian Immigration Service (NIS) has also launched the second phase of its artificial intelligence and blockchain capacity building program, expanding efforts to equip officers with emerging technology skills to strengthen migration management, border security, and public service delivery. According to the NIS, participants will receive training in AI concept and applications, blockchain technology, AI ethics and e-data protection, as well as AI blockchain integration for digital immigration operations. The initiative is expected to enhance migration management, border governance, institutional efficiency, and national security. And that's how much we've taken from the world of technology on the show this morning. I pass over to Miracle, who takes us to the world of entertainment.
Welcome back. It is still the morning show, and I will be bringing you up to speed with what is happening in the exciting world of entertainment. Lots of stories we bring before you this morning, and we begin with Afrobeat superstar Oyin Kosola, popularly known as Arya Star, has announced that she will be taking a short break to focus on her health following a major surgery. The singer revealed this in a post shared on her Instagram story on Thursday, where she opened up about her recent health challenge while addressing her loyal fan base called Mobster. Although the singer did not disclose the nature of the health condition or the type of surgery she underwent, she explains that the healing process has not been as straightforward as anticipated. We're wishing you a speedy recovery, Arya Star, and her fans are also wishing her a speedy recovery, that she comes back to scene as soon as possible. And away from that, Tomi Adeyemi calls film adaptation the worst thing I've ever lived through. Adeyemi, who co-wrote the screenplay, broke her silence in a lengthy video shared on an Instagram page on Wednesday. She said she had endured the situation for about a year and a half and decided to speak publicly because remaining silent had worsened her pain. Adeyemi alleged that she left the set of the film hyperventilating and sobbing and has continued to face an antagonism behind the scenes. She said she returned to the United States suffering from severe physical symptoms and panic attacks, adding that the experience convinced her that she would never watch the finished film. As of the moment, Paramount Pictures had not publicly responded to the author's comment. And this is a lot of controversies going on about the adaptation of Children of Blood and Bone. The author saying that she no longer wants to be a part of this movie. Quite commendable with what Paramount has done so far. Hopefully, the film comes out, and fans have been anticipating as well. And away from that, BNXN and Asake joins forces on Ejameja, a smooth Afrobeat collaboration accompanied by a mood-setting visualizer featuring sleek styling, vintage aesthetics, and an intimate dinner setting. The track blends BNXN's signature smooth melodic delivery with Asake's distinctive energetic cadence, and teased just days before its official release, Ejameja delivers the kind of warm, replayable rhythm that fits right into a favorite weekend playlist. Ejameja marks an exciting moment for fans who have long anticipated a full-length collaboration between the two chart toppers, and quite something there from BNXN and Asake. Fans have been anticipating this, and they have eventually done something. Fans are still excited to be streaming this. And lastly, we end on a very sad note as Glenn Hansard, an Oscar-winning Irish musician, was killed in a motorcycle crash in Dublin. The 56-year-old, who rose to fame with his role in the 1991 musical comedy film The Commitments, was the longtime lead of the acclaimed rock band The Flames. Ed Sheeran and Bruce Springsteen, who described himself as heartbroken have expressed tributes across the music industry. Hansard has a long and successful career in music, including winning the Academy Award for Best Original Song in 2008 alongside Marketa for their work on the low-budget musical Romance. A very, very sad story. May his soul rest in peace, and condolences to the family of Glenn Hansard. And on this note, we wrap up the entertainment segment on the show. An amazing day. It has been an amazing Friday. We've brought before you stories around Nigeria, stories around Africa, and stories around the world. We've also brought to you stories from the world of entertainment, from the world of business. And we've also talked about what is currently affecting Africans and Nigerians as well. Xenophobic attacks in South Africa and its impact on Nigerians, on Africa, the economy, the business, and everything. It has been a pleasant run, amazing run. I am Miracle SA.
And I am Adejajiboye. Many thanks to every one of you for being a part of the show this morning. We've been able to take you through Nigeria, Africa, and the world in the last couple of hours on the show. Don't forget, I can keep track of all of these updates and many more by following us across all social media platforms. We are live on X, we are live on Facebook, we are live on Instagram at Saharatv, and you can as well watch us live on YouTube at Saharatv, and to be a part of this amazing community so you can be the first to know whenever we drop our post right on our pages. And yes, that's how much we'll be calling it on the show today. Stay with us because we still got something to serve to you in the world of sport.
You see, situation report from Ore, Lagos Road, see, river don't full, see, river don't full. Since morning, now we dey here, since around 11. No vehicle, see, no motor take the risk. People, motor they off on the lights. They see, if they carry motor, no be second chop. Situation report from Ore, Lagos, we have been here since around 11. And now we see the cinema. Just look at, just look at,
Where is going to take risk? Where is this one back?
Okay, I don't carry you on a river future way so. You on a river, oh. See a river, na future way so river. Everywhere, look at everywhere. Na future way so. Lagos Road. Say, you don't fall, you don't fall. Oh boy, who go fit take this risk? You know, dinner. River don't foot away. River, yeah. Lagos Road. Today so far. No. Situation report from Lagos Road. Situation report. Since around 11. What is the time now to 6? Yeah, since around 11. Now we dey hold up. Since around 11. Because of Ore, Abi. Just you can imagine because of Ore. You can imagine, situation report live in Lagos Road because of our we don't do this around 11. Now this to 6. You can imagine, this is the country we find ourselves. I'm not be lying now.
I don't be lying now.
This country we find ourselves.
The road where they talk about, not even spoil from year to year.
You can imagine. And they're collecting money every day. Driver go pay tax. Local government go collect money. This one go collect money. Produce everything. You can imagine. I have been stuck here since around 11. I would be here around 11. Now this, look at it. Just look at the time now. Look at the time. To see since around 11. How many hours did they do? Can imagine. Okay, one keep pressing. Situation report. Yeah.
Sarah Sports 101 is live. Take you to all of the amazing stories currently making the rounds in the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and the sometimes controversial world of sports. Talk about controversy currently happening. FIFA is most definitely at loggerheads with other member associations and especially UEFA. In the last couple of days, the president of FIFA, Gianni Infantino, has come out to say, we are bringing about a FIFA forward enterprise that will allow us to commodify what we know as FIFA. Well, some persons are saying this is you selling a whole stake out of football, but he's saying it will mean that FIFA will be making more money from football. But then that is not where the question is coming from. The question is coming from the consortium, or should we say the organization that will be handling this project is somehow linked to the in-law of the president of the United States, Donald Trump. You can see why a lot of football fans are definitely against this one. Plenty of conversations happening from that sphere because it's been said that FIFA needs over 106 votes from the 211 member communities, and right about now 106 have said, look here, we are not going to be part of this. The federations remaining the likes of Africa, you have the likes of Oceania, and some are also from the CONMEBOL. So we'll talk about that in the course of the show this one, and as well we're taking a look at how Nigerian athletes have been faring currently right there in Glasgow, Scotland. A couple of medals came in from last night with likes of Tobiloba Amusho, and not what a lot of fans would expect. Definitely getting to win a bronze medal, and also Chukwuma Inekwechi also getting Nigeria's first gold in the world of shot put. All of this and many more we'll be taking a look at in the course of the show. This one I've got with me in the studio, Warit. We're together, we'll be breaking this down in bits and in pieces. Welcome to the show this morning, Warit.
Yes, I did it. An honor to do this once again with you.
All right, let's start from the Commonwealth Games. Of course, Nigerian athletes we've seen how they've been performing. Yesterday evening, it was Tobiloba Amusho. Though she had a bit of fault, she hit into one of the hurdles, which of course reduced her pace. She won her hit in a time of 12.16 seconds, setting another personal record in that particular. But how do you assess the game so far?
Yes, it has been an interesting event so far. Looking at the Commonwealth Games, and Nigeria has a total of 60 medals as it stands. 8 gold medal, 5 silver, and also 3 bronze medal. And for Tobi Amusho yesterday, it was quite a disappointment.
I know you're a big fan.
A lot of I was expecting more from her because she was supposed to become the first athlete to ever win three in a row. From Gold Coast to Birmingham, now to Glasgow. But it was a disappointment. But on the other hand, those two ladies that kind of toppled her were at their best. And when it comes to athletics, you have to be at your best every time. And it was an interesting one. But on the other hand, we have to look at the positive aspect because this is kind of a preparation for the Los Angeles Olympics that's going to be happening in the next 2 years.
I mean, I like the fact that a lot of Nigerians are already looking forward to the Los Angeles Games, which is going to be the Olympics come 2028. But still talking about Nigerian athletes, we also now have a new champion in the world of shot put, Chukwuma Inekwechi. He says something, says, the man that is always moving will one day meet with what he's looking for. Was that what exactly happened with him last night?
Yes, totally, because it has been coming. On most occasions, he doesn't finish in the podium or have an opportunity in finishing on the podium. But looking at it, what happened yesterday, it was a good one for him. And you could see that how happy he was. And looking at it from another point of view, he became the first Nigerian to win shot put at the Commonwealth. So it's a good one for him because I watched him during the trials right there at the Yaba Sports Complex. And a couple of people were saying that because as a professional, if you are coming with your gadgets, with your equipment, there's this top notch that you come with it, and there's this aura you come with it. And he was confident during that trial, and I expected more from me, and which he showed at the, yesterday at the shot put event.
All right, most definitely, we're still looking forward to some more gold and also more medals from the Nigerian athletes currently participating at the Commonwealth Games. Just like he has mentioned for us, we have Nigeria already has 16 medals to our name right now. I will say our name. But we are still currently sitting 5th on the log. Hopefully that is going to change by the end of today. Now let's quickly move away. Let's talk about other sports. I'll talk about the Tigers who are also preparing for the FIBA Women's World Cup. Now, a lot of fans are already saying that there's a bit of difference from the NBBF and the NFF, because last month the Tigers were right there in USA. They were not even playing any other team. They are playing the top WNBA teams. And now they are still going to be preparing for this FIBA Women's World Cup. how do you know? I mean, what's your opinion about this in comparison to what is happening in Nigerian football?
Yes, I have to agree with Masses because of looking at the preparation that the NBBF has put into place for the data.
But don't forget, at the point, a lot of fans were calling for the head of Engineer Musa Kida.
Yes, but when you call out for a solution to look at how a big tournament when it comes to the AfroBasket or the FIBA World Cup that's going to be happening earlier this in September.
Yep.
A lot of people expect more from them because looking at it, the data guys have always delivered. Let's talk about the AfroBasket first. They have won it 5 consecutive times
in a row.
It has been one thing that we have always done well when it comes to it. But the question mark has always been when we go to the world challenge, especially the Olympics and also the FIBA World Cup. We saw earlier this year, was it not in March, we had the qualifiers for this particular tournament, this World Cup that is going to be coming up, where we face the likes of Colombia, Philippines, and for the first time in 7 years, the data guys scored over 100 points in that particular game against Philippines, and that is the preparation we want from them. And looking at it, the training camp started yesterday in Chicago, and after Chicago, we'll be going to China, where we face playing 3 friendlies against the host nations. Then we'll move to Spain. In Tenerife, we'll face Spain and also Belgium. Those 3 countries I have mentioned now are ahead of us.
I think the final one is going to be in Berlin, and the FIBA will be starting.
So we still have a friendly against Zaragoza against Puerto Rico and also Mali. That is just top-notch friendly. We need proper preparation. And we saw that the girls kind of became the first male or female team at the Olympics to get to the quarterfinal. We were knocked out by a top team in USA, and we are expecting more from them because for you to get to the highest level, you have to face the best teams, and for you to be the best, you have to beat the best.
Exactly.
That's it.
And hopefully the Tigers will once again fly the country's flag. So when we get to the FIBA Women's World Cup later this year, which is going to be right there in Berlin, in Germany, plenty of conversations still happening right in the world of sports. Don't forget that on the home front, the WAF will be on the 20 tourneys currently up and running, and the Nigerians, Flying Eagles, are very much alive in that particular one. Yesterday, the head coach of the Super Eagles, Eric Sekuchewo, was also in the camp of the boys to cheer them on for the future. In the last couple of years, we've not been seeing from the the Flying Eagles to the Golden Eaglets. They've not been at the top of their performance so far. But this time around, looks like we now have the round pegs in the round O's when it comes to this age grade football.
Yes, I have to give kudos to Coach Abdul Mekaiba. Quite surprised because, like you said, we have struggled when it comes to the age grade tournament. The last time we did something significant, especially, was in the under 17. That was Osimhen set in 2015. That is how far it has been. The other 20 has always been doing well. I think under Ladambusu, got to the quarterfinal where we were knocked out by South Korea. I'm looking at how things have panned out. First of all, you know that this is a regional tournament for the qualifiers for the AFCON that's going to be happening, and also the World Cup. So we have gotten to the final. We defeated our neighbors Ghana and also defeated Togo yesterday. 3 goals to 0. Good one for them. And the boys, because the next set of Super Eagles players always come from this educator teams.
I mean, but we have some of them that have come into the Super Eagles and gone back. We had Daniel Daga, we had Daniel Bameyi.
Daniel Daga for Bameyi. Bameyi has been with the under 20 for I don't know how many years now. But I hope that there is a positive outcome from this team because don't let us forget that in 2030, majority of these players that we have in the Super Eagles will be entering their 30s, and we need players who can kind of take up the mantle when we get into the future.
All right, let's move away from that and let's talk about the pressing issue that is happening in the world of football now. Everyone is talking about it. Even the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom also come out to say, look here, football is for everyone of us. Football is not for Giannis Infantino alone. With FIFA looking to say, let's take it back from, when it first started. When Giannis Infantino was going to come in, it was being said that federations were getting less than $1 million in their revenue. But when he came in, he upped it to about 2 million. And that was when we still had Amaju Pinnick as the president of the Nigerian Football Federation. But now he wants to take it to over 20 million for the federation teams. But then UEFA has come out to distance itself completely from whatever it is that FIFA is looking to do. Don't you think that more money for the federation should be something they will be happy about?
Yes, that more money. You look at it in the concept of Africa. European teams, majority of them are financially okay. And looking at first of all, it says something that football is for the fans. For me, that is a big fallacy. I do agree with it because majority of
you don't agree that football is for the fans?
Yes, the governing bodies don't consider when they are taking major key decisions. They don't consider the fans. Let me tell you, looking at the World Cup when the commercial break, that's talking about the addition break, did they ask the fans about it? No. When the halftime show, did they ask the fans? Let me not even go far as the FIFA. Right here in Nigeria, if the NFF want to appoint a manager, did they ask the opinions of the fans? No. When Eritrea was coming in, we asked, because a lot of people as at that time didn't agree with that appointment. But because of over time, we have seen that Eritrea has been able to deliver a couple of times. So that is it regarding that one. But on the other hand, like I said, the principle, it makes sense because it's a good one. And especially for Africa, because for Infantino, is Musepe is a boy to Infantino. Because that's
your words.
In my own words, yes. Because majority of the
Dr.
time,
Patrice Motsepe, the president of CAF, is what again?
Is a boy to Infantino. Because, because the reason why I say that is when they want to test on something, especially the African Super League, that because of the that failed, it was tested in Africa. Now looking at the AFCON, the changes have been made. It's going to be old every 4 years, and now we are going to be having African Nations League. The chat tournament was scrapped.
So you are saying now that every template that Dr. Patrice Motsepe is currently following is a template that Giannis Infantino has given to him?
Yes, because now more money is coming in. That is where a lot of these people are looking at. Like you mentioned, let me just do a breakdown of the financial benefit that a lot of these teams will get. According to FIFA, they are planning to raise over $4.2 billion. That is as a start. And that $4.2 billion is going to be valued, according to them, for $20 billion. And in the next 4 years, they are planning for a football development funding, which will be $10 billion, which a breakdown of that is where the $20 million for the federations. And looking at it, like I said, European countries are already distanced themselves away because you saw the
UEFA president.
And there's this. They don't see eye to eye, Seferin and also
I mean, in the last couple of years, it was not the final of the FIFA World Cup.
Yes,
it's been boycotting anything FIFA.
To show how both parties are not in terms. For Infantino, when he came in 2016, we know that he's this smart man when it comes to big finance because he was the Secretary General of UEFA and he's also a lawyer. So he knows how to get about this. And when you have tasted something with what World Cup, how World Cup went, generating a lot of money. You tested it that this is how it's tasting. You see how it's interesting, it's sweet. Then you want to continue it. And the way things are going, it's planning to Americanize football in the sense that there's also the football aspect and also the commercial aspect.
But then we are hearing that UEFA are looking to instigate the president of Paris Saint-Germain, that's talking about Nasser Al-Khelaifi, to come out against Giannis Infantino in the next FIFA election. How this one is going to pan out is something that football fans are definitely looking forward to. But then it is currently divided now because we have some that are for, while some are against. But I know that if I ask you to tell me where you think the CAF, the Convention of African Football, will be, definitely you want to say that the 54 African federations will be for whatever it is that FIFA are looking to do. Is that no?
Yes, let me take you to. First of all, Amaju Pine came out yesterday to say that he supports what Infantino. That's just a
because it's part. I think it's part of the board.
That is just to show that if Nigeria at the end of the day will collect the 20 million.
I mean that's about 17 point something million dollars if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's going to be good for the NFF because majority of the time NFF will tell you that they don't have money.
All right, let's quickly move on from that and let's talk a little bit about transfer bits, just as we have on the back pages of the major dailies. For Chelsea now, looks like they are looking to get at a point in time when Todd Boehly and his franchise came into Chelsea, they were this team that had the opinion of signing, young players. Yes. But in the last couple of days, there have been talks about Jordan Anderson coming and also Danny Welbeck also joining Chelsea as well. These two guys, do you think that they will be bringing enough experience into this Chelsea team at this point?
No, I think for Chelsea now, they have seen that bringing in young players, you also need to bring in experience. Don't forget that earlier during the transfer window, Granit Xhaka was being tilted to go to Chelsea. But Sunderland held their own and said that this guy is not going to. And looking at the two players that are brought in, Premier League experience, both players have it. Jordan Anderson and also Danny Welbeck. And if you look at the combined age of those two players, it is 71 years old.
The age between the two of them.
Yes, that's 5 and 36. Yeah. Join them together. I know that there's experience, but there's also the aspect of they don't have the legs to play against the young guys. But one thing I can tell you that Chelsea are going about.
But if I'm going to be giving anybody a goal, it has to be Danny Welbeck, because we saw what he did last season in the English Premier League. Very, very consistent. Before we move away from the world of transfer, let's also talk about Newcastle United right now. Currently being backed by this Saudi PI fund. Eddie Owe has called it a time on his coaching career with Newcastle United after spending 5 years with the club. And of course, a couple of Newcastle United players are definitely on the exit door, likes of Bruno Guimaraes, who has been tipped to leave the team. Do you see a mass exodus of players leaving this this Newcastle United side, considering the type of coach that is coming in? Because there is a coach from Al Hilal that will be coming to Newcastle United.
Yes, for Newcastle, things are not going well for them, and this is due to the whole PSR stuff, because they have to allow some of their big players go. And looking at last transfer window before coming to City, they had a couple of transfer targets they were not able to get it. And they allowed some of their key players. Isaac left, which other player left last season? This season, Saharatv has gone. There's also the possibility of Bruno Guimaraes. I could understand from Eddie Howe's point of view that, see, if my key players are leaving, it's going to be hard for me to compete at the highest level, because during Eddie Howe's tenure,
considering it's going to be playing,
he's going to be playing, and there's this expectation from Newcastle is that we want to play the European competitions. He did it twice with Newcastle, Champions League on 2 occasions. And when you have already attained that level, you don't want to drop down. And I don't know what is happening, because when the owners came in, the belief is that a lot of money is going to be popped into the club. With the way things are going, some of these smaller clubs are always smaller clubs. And at the end of the day, they have not gotten the opportunity to buy as much as compared to the big clubs.
All right, before we wrap things up on this show this morning, let's come back to talks about the Women's African Cup of Nations. The Super Falcons of Nigeria will be in action tomorrow against Zambia. I'm not going to say Zambia, I'll say Barbara Banda.
Yes, it's a must win for the Super Falcons. It's a must win, because the first game, a lot of complacency from the players.
Do you think that is complacency?
Yes, because it's kind of a bad day in office, because playing against a Malawi.
Now, because you said complacency on the part of the players, what do you say about the coach himself?
For Justin Madugu, he also has a part to play, because I question his starting lineup in that particular game. Because you had a certain Rafiat Timon, who is a natural left back. He decided to use Michelle Alozie at left back. Even though she's two-footed, she's good with both feet. But at the same time, I think that you have to go with players who you know that will deliver at the national position. And also, the defense line. We saw the 3 goals by Malawi. They were long balls. And there's this thing if you play football. If a long ball is coming, as a defender, don't allow the ball to bounce. If it bounces, you have to have the speed to be able to catch up. At the end of the day, we saw the goalkeeper, Chiamaka Nnadozie. She has done well with the Super Falcons.
What do you say about fans that are calling for Chiamaka Nnadozie to be dropped?
That is it. Football is, when you are doing well, you get the praises. When you have a bad game, you also have to take it in to get the criticism. And that is the expectation we have, because as at this point in time, you know, like this AFCON tournament is a qualifier for the World Cup. And the men did not go to the World Cup. Are we going to be in the same situation where the female will not be participating at the World Cup?
And say it's going to be an expanded World Cup. But well, we might be able to, because I remember that
there's no third place.
I know there's no third place, but there's still going to be a playoff for 2 more African teams to also join. So
we have to get out of the group stage.
Okay, to be able to be qualified for the playoff.
2 teams are getting out of the group stage. And looking at Malawi has had a good start, because your opening game matters a lot. If you have that win, you put yourself in a good position.
And Zambia too.
And Zambia
6-0 against Egypt.
Trashed Egypt 6-0. We are going to be facing because we are not able to handle the Chawinga sisters. And we have a certain Bababanda there who have scored 4 goals. It's going to be an interesting one. The Super Falcons last time out at the WAFCON tournament, we defeated Zambia 5-0. They will be coming with this. And
we've met Zambia twice at the WAFCON now. The previous one and then the last one. I think the first one we drew, and then
they defeated us 1-0 in the 3rd place match.
Then this particular one we defeated them 5-0. Now we'll be meeting them for the 3rd time running.
In 3rd time running, and I expect that the Super Falcons know what is at stake at this particular point in time. Because win this game, Egypt look like the whipping girls in the group. I know that the girls are top players, and they know that this time around we have to deliver. Forget about we are 3rd-time champion. 3rd-time champion doesn't count in this game.
But we have the star in front of
us. The star won't buy you a win.
Let me take your prediction from the game now. What do you think we should look out for from that particular game, Nigeria up against Zambia?
Seeing a slim victory for the Super Falcons. And now, a player that is going to be crucial for us has to be Esther Okonkwo. She's just coming back from a long-term injury. We saw her not in her best. And also Rasheedat Ajibade will have to step up.
I'm also learning that Halima Tainde is also going to be fit for that game.
Halima Tainde played the game, but she struggled in the middle.
Had a bit of...
And there's a girl that a lot of people called Kante, the very Abiodun. I don't know why the coach doesn't go with that particular option. But we have to get this right this game against Zambia. If we lose this game, we can say bye-bye to the World Cup.
Now, there's this particular tweet I saw that says that immediately, I found was saying that immediately he did not see Ashley Prompte in the squad for this one. Of course, she's injured, but immediately he didn't see her there. He thinks that Nigeria will not be going anywhere. Do you think that all of this kind of players caliber also matters in female football?
Yes, for Ashley Prompte, when she came into the national team, a lot of Igbo lady, because she is this player. Before, when she came into the Super Eagles, she was playing for Leicester. Now she is at Al Ittihad, and effectiveness on that left wing, that's talking about left back, has been exceptional. When it comes to both attacking and also defending, she has kind of found the balance in it, and we are missing her. It's clear.
It's safe to say that the Super Falcons are missing Ashley Prompte.
We can say that, but we can't rely on just only one player. That is why we have a squad. That's why we have a 5-woman list coming to this tournament. Other players will have to deliver, will have to step up in order to, because see, I want us to go to the World Cup. I can't be in this dilemma of Super Eagles not go to the World Cup. And we have our Super Falcons will also participate at the World Cup. It will be a bad thing for a football nation such as Nigeria.
All right. Thank you so much, Harit, for being a part of the show this morning. But before I let you go, Manchester United, how is it going?
For Manchester United, Inos are using us to play. Because looking at other clubs, they are signing top players.
But the Ineos are also signing. They've signed, what's it called? Yuri Tillman. They've signed Andrew Santo. They've signed Caldalo.
Chelsea is signing Mogaroja as 170 million. We are managing. We are trying to balance the books.
But it's told you they don't have enough money.
No, that's a club as United should be going for the top players. Because Casemiro left, and you have to look for a replacement for him. Also, attacking players also, we also need to buy. Rashford is coming back in, which I don't even want.
We might be going out back to Tottenham Hotspur.
Rashford, Tottenham's a big money.
All right, thank you so much for being part of the show this morning, Warit, and it's a pleasure to take you through the world of sport right here on Sahara Sports 101. Don't forget to keep it a date with us. I'll be back for the next episode of the show. Thank you and God bless. Bye.